Hello, hello. In this video, we're going to greatly improve the standard push block. Check it out. Now, I actually like this kind of a push block, just has a pad and a handle, right? But sometimes you need a little bit more grab at the trailing end of a board. So, over the chop saw, cut a flat or create a flat spot at one end. Now, I suppose you could use a piece of wood or maybe even plywood, 1/4 inch plywood, but I chose to use some solid plastic like this 1/4 inch cutting board material. And you'll need some sort of a threaded knob, 1/4 inch or 6 millimeter diameter or less. Unless your push block is different, but of course I'm talking about the standard push block that's shown here. You can see there's an angle on the handle, and I just transfer that same angle to that piece of plastic. And I was fortunate enough to discover that this is under 6 millimeters, so I can cut a slot, a 6 millimeter slot with a domino. And check out those old docks. Haha! The one on the left is actually a prototype, and the one on the right for the XL700, that was when I was first making them utilizing dominoes to hold the parts together. Took way too much time and got too expensive. Anyway, here I'm adhering some double stick tape, and with that I can secure a piece of 1/4 inch plywood, and that'll serve as a reference base plate thingy. Nothing critical here, didn't even measure, and gotta love double stick spec tape, yeah. Now the handle on the push block is relatively small, and we have to cut 2 slots, so I have the DF500 set at the smallest setting. Since those 2 slots are angled on this, arbitrary sized piece of plastic, kind of hard to measure, so this base plate will give us a reference. So here I'm just marking some centers. And then I started to mark the center here, but really I should mark, the end of the slot of the domino cut, which I ended up doing later. And so now we have a good reference of where that slot needs to be in the piece of plastic. So I can just line that up, say, right in there. That looks like it's gonna line up with where I need to cut it, right? And then we'll just clamp that down. That didn't fit. I actually like that clamp because it has a big foot, but that's okay. We'll use a different one. And really, just for safety, we'll clamp this dude in place. I haven't had this DF500 for very long. I use it on occasion, but one thing I have noticed is that it vibrates a lot, much more than the XL700. And I'm curious if yours does the same thing. Let me know in the comments. Cutting a slot with the domino has to be one of the easiest way to create that, right? And this looks like it's going to work. It's not going to move straight up and down, but that's okay. It'll move slightly at an angle. It'll accomplish the same thing. And here we'll just cut another slot, and boom, just that easy. So I went ahead and remarked it, and you can see, so when it's all the way up, that'll be maxed out on the 2 screws. And then when it's all the way down, as far down as it can go, it'll hang down maybe 3/8 or 10 millimeters, maybe a little bit more. So should hook plenty, yeah. All right, with everything marked out, we can put this in the vise, and I'm going to drill some holes, and I'm going to use a knob with thread, and then I'm also going to use a screw. So I'm going to start by drilling 2 holes about 1/8 inch in diameter. But of course, the diameter of the hole would be dependent on what you're using for your application. In my situation, I just happened to dig through my plethora of junk, and I have a bin with a bunch of knobs, found something that was appropriate, and so that's what I'm using. Once I had the small holes drilled, I moved to the next size. This will accommodate the M5-0.75 millimeter thread knob that I found. And I don't know why, but I've always loved drilling threads or drilling holes and tapping threads in plastic. It just, I don't know. It's easy to do, and the threads hold well. So now you can see why I needed that flat spot, so the little sliding piece of plastic had a reference. You can insert the knob, the adjustment knob, and then we'll use a screw for the other hole. That just keeps everything aligned, yeah. And of course, we just need to bring this up to where it holds the piece of plastic in place. We don't need that tight. That'll allow the adjustment piece to slip. Now, an IG buddy, Instagram buddy of mine, Darren Oates, Fine Furniture, he's out of Australia. He made a really long push block. It's similar to this, except it's not adjustable. Just made out of wood, but it's about 3 foot long. And with it, he can hook the end of a long board. Sounds like a good idea. So here's a piece off the original one. You can see the holes where I had literally just screwed it in place, and you can actually see how it was shaved at the joiner. Must have tilted or something, whatever. But anyway, and then I found 2 more knobs that are the same thread. I figured, well, I'm already set up. I might as well make 2 of them, yeah. There we go, awesome. Now you could put a washer underneath these knobs, I guess, but probably not really important. Boom. Right? Yeah. Let's go try them out. Yeah, man, I'm gonna love that. I've been using these for a while now, and I absolutely love them. I should have made these a long time ago. Well, I had one, and it worked. But 2 of them, and I always have that adjustability. Fantastic. And I apologize for the shaky video. I think the machine must vibrate the concrete a bit, and then it translates up through the tripod, the camera tripod, and causes a little bit of a blur. I think these push blocks came with my original 6-inch grizzly joiner, but I've seen this design a lot, so hopefully this is something that you can use and make your push blocks better, safer, and adjustable, right? And as always, I absolutely appreciate the views and the comments and the input and the feedback. If you haven't subscribed, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, and as always, thanks a ton for watching.